Hello everyone, this is Helios Raven. I tell you how I do it, even if you don't care. And when we last left off, we were reading the Vessels of the Imperium, and we just finished the Grand Cruisers and the Battleships, and we're on to the Cruisers and the Escorts. Since there's so few of them, we're going to combine them into one video blog. Now, our first ship on the list is the Armageddon class battle cruiser. Now, this is a regular standard cruiser, so it has 8 hit points, speed 20, turns 45, 2 shields, front armor 6, side and rear 5, and 2 turrets. And weapon-wise, it's basically a jack of all trades. If you're not sure, if you're like, I want to be, a little bit good at close combat, a little bit good at close range combat, that this one's probably the cruiser for you. It's got 2 lance batteries on its left and its right at 45 centimeters in range, which is nice because lances, as we all know at this point, are really good things to have on your ship. It's got one on its left and its right side weapon batteries of 45 range, 45 centimeter range, and strength 6. So it's got decent weaponry. It's not gonna be able to hold its off at a on a broadside cruiser by itself, but if you have another ship with it, it could probably do lots of heavy damage. It's got front torpedoes that fire from its front arc with servo of 6, so get 2 of these guys together, have a nice wave of 12, really nice setup there, could really cut off a lot of Imperial a lot of enemy movement, and it's got a dorsal lance battery of strength 2, so 2 shots that can fire at its left, front, or right arc at 60 centimeters. So, like I said, this ship's a very nice jack of all trades. So if you're like, I don't want to be good at one specific area of combat, I want to have a decently well-rounded type of combat system, then the Armageddon battle class cruiser is the type for you. And then we have the cruisers, the light cruisers. Now, light cruisers, as we noticed from the Dauntless in our first section, have 6 hit points, speed 20, turns 90 degrees, 1 shield, armor 5, and 2 turrets. Now, these cruisers that are in the Imperial Vessel book, I kind of like a little bit better. I think they made up for the very lameness of the Dauntless. Now, the first one is the Endeavor class light cruiser. This one is a very close combat friendly ship. It's got a POW weapon battery that has strength 2, 30 centimeters that fires front, left, and right. It's got 2 torpedoes from its front arc, which is not too bad, especially if you have 2 of these together or so. A port weapon battery of 6 at 30 centimeters, and a starboard weapon battery 30 centimeters of 6 as well. So 6, 7, 8. You could get about 7 shots on its left and its right side, or 8 shots on one side and 6 on the other with its weapon batteries. So it's got a nice chunk of change on it in terms of weapon batteries. And so basically, this is a really nice close combat cruiser, especially if you want something to complement another cruiser that you have, or a battleship, or an escort squadron. This is a pretty decent ship to get. Also, its special rules, the Endeavor Light Cruiser and its 2 variants, the Endurance and Defiant, get a +1 to their dice roll when defending against a boarding action, because the midship corridor is easy to defend and restricts access to vital parts of the ship. So basically, a note to make on the cruisers that the next 2 cruisers I'm going to mention is whenever they're boarded, they get a +1 to their dice roll when defending against an attack, because the ship is designed where it's hard for enemies to get anywhere vital without getting into a huge firefight. Now, the next ship that we're going to talk about is the Endeavor class light cruiser. Now, this one is a very weak. It's on par with the Dauntless in a sense. It's got a POW weapon battery of that's strength 2 that fires front, left, and right, 2 torpedoes, and 2 port lances, and 2 port lances, and 2 starboard lances at 30 centimeters left to right. This again is a lot nicer ship for the sheer fact that it's got some lances on it that can fire its left and right arc, and it's strength 2 on either side. So that's pretty interesting and also very good. This is again one of those things where you'd probably bring it with a battleship to try and complement the ships more. And because by itself it's not going to really hold out as well as some of the other ships out there. But it's still pretty decent, and all in all, I'd probably consider this like a bodyguardish type of ship, something you would keep alongside another ship to give it some hand, especially since it's got some long-range capability a little bit. And then the last one is the last of the light cruisers is the Defiant class cruiser. This one is your ship launcher. If you want to be an ordnance-heavy system, this is the one to go. It's got a POW lance battery, which will fire at its left front right arc with a power 2, so 2 shots, really great. And it has launch bays that fire 1 squadron each on each side. Since it doesn't distinguish, I'm going to assume it does fighters and bombers. Which is great if you want to be an ordnance-heavy weapon in an ordnance-controlling game. This is definitely a class to pick because you can, put them alongside a battleship or something, and that battleship fires 4, and you've got 2 extra ones to go out with them. So that's not half bad. So this is again a nice complementary ship for ordnance-based armies where you have other ships launching ordnance with it. And our final entry in this is the Imperial Falcon class escort. Like all general escorts, this is an escort with 1 hit point, 25 centimeter speed, 90-degree turrets, 1 shield, 5 armor, and 1 turret. This guy's got 1 torpedo and 3 weapon batteries that fire front, left, right. This is a nice ship. You might want to take this one over, say, the Cobra class ship because it's got more weapon batteries in it. It does sacrifice its torpedoes to get that, but it's great against if you put them in the squadrons, those 1 torpedoes become larger batteries fairly quickly, and the weapon batteries, again, a bunch of them together, they can start having the firepower class of, say, a cruiser or a battleship if you get enough of them. So it's a pretty nice ship. It's fairly cheap also with its point cost, so if you're trying to get more of a weapon battery close combat type of feeling army, you might want to field Falcons because they're going to be great at close combat out of most of the escorts that we've looked at. And with that, we have basically talked about all the ships in the Imperial Navy. And so we are done with the Imperial Navy ships for now, and we'll continue with our next army in the next video next week. So, until next time, this is Helios Raven, signing off.